It's time to find out
What Shane
said with Shane Manila.
Hey, what's up, everybody? New Shane says, we'll keep this one super brief. I promise you, this one is probably going to be one of the shortest episodes we've had. It's only one of me. Sorry. Last week, there was an episode on Mannequin Chill. And if you don't watch that, please do. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like, hit the comments, all that good stuff. Anyway, on Mannequin Chill, there was an episode where Scott and myself had a dispersal draft. Going into that, whatever, I had a plan of action after looking at what the team was. And the plan of action was basically draft whatever I can that could be split into multiple pieces and be traded. But, after we came out of the draft, wanted to see if that's still what I wanted to do, right? So Jaden Daniels, Bijan Robinson, 101. Bro, monster team right there, right? Garrett Wilson, Roma Dunze, 202. Okay. 204. Mark Andrews. Okay. Xavier Leggett, 304. Trey Benson. Yeah. Will Shipley, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Isaiah Davis, Kendra Miller, Rashad Bateman. I think that was a good pick in the 17th. Chris Rodriguez, Michael Wilson, Malik Washington. And then we tapped out. Me and Scott gave up. It progressively got worse from there. So that's the roster, right? Just going through it again. There's some high-end assets, really high-end. Jaden Daniels, Bijan Robinson, the 101. Garrett Wilson and Roma Dunze. And then it gets progressively worse. So looking at the settings for this league, it's a 12 by 11 super flex, obviously. PPR, 1.5 tight end premium, not a big tight end premium. Basically, the premium doesn't even really matter. And then the only other bonuses, there's 100-yard rushing and receiving, 200 rushing and receiving, or 100-yard receiving or 100-yard rushing, 200-yard receiving, 200-yard rushing bonuses, and then passing bonuses from 2 up to 400 yards, through 400 yards. So 12 by 11 being the important thing there. It's pretty deep, right? So obviously I need to start 11 players every week. What you will notice is that list that I read off to you. I don't think you noticed a quarterback 2 because you didn't. My quarterback 2 right now, or at least coming out of that draft, would have been Mac Jones or Zach Wilson. There is also no one. There's absolutely no one else out on the roster that plays the quarterback position. So it's super flex. You don't have to have a quarterback in that position, but it's nice to have the choice. I don't even have the choice. Choices are nice. So looking at that roster, looking at the settings, 12 by 11 starters, right? You need 11 every week, including, it'd be nice to have 2 quarterbacks, but I only have 1. So I thought it was important, or at least what I like to do is then go on Dynasty Daddy, take a look at it, where the rankings are, where do I fit? Not surprisingly, I was rebuilding. Not going to compete this year. More than that, when you look at the roster, I also didn't have a lot of future assets, right? I had the assets that I got out of this draft, which again, the 101, 202, 204, then a bunch of third rounders, 304, not even a bunch of third rounders. Matter of fact, just 1 third rounder, 304. I didn't have a second for next year, or don't have a second for next year. That was in the draft. Scott took that from me because he's mean to me. So I had a 26 first, not a lot of draft capital to play with. And for my count, well, I consider 7 legitimate starters, right? You got Jaden Daniels, Bijan, 101, let's say Ashton Genty, Garrett Wilson, Roma Dunze, Mark Andrews. All right, that's 6. I'll give you like the 202, 204, Xavier Leggett, Trey Benson. Let's just say one of those is a legitimate starter. Sure. So I would say that, I have like 8 starters. If you want to squint and include Trey Benson. If you really want to squint and you add Xavier Leggett, you're up to 9 starters, right? The legitimate might be pressing that. 10, if you think either the 202 or the 204 could be startable pieces. Actually, both of those would need to hit. Put me in a position where I have 10 legitimate starters. And again, the backups, Rashad Bateman, Kendra Miller, Will Shipley, Isaiah Davis, Chris Rodriguez. Even I, as a proponent of any running back on a 53 that I stole from Scott, Can't be feeling real excited going into the season with Trey Benson as your RB3. Obviously, Ashton Genty would be my RB2 probably. But is that a team that can compete, right? So, obviously, again, check out Dynasty Daddy. Dynasty Daddy says you're rebuilding. This isn't a team that is going to win this year. More importantly, I don't think this is a team in its current construction that could win next year or the following year. This is not a team that one draft pick added to it was going to take it from a loser to a winner. And again, what did I look at? I just looked at simple math, right? I need 11 starters. I have 10. And that's including, like I said, that's including Xavier Legette. These are players that you're squinting your eyes and going, sure, that's a starter. Mark Andrews is a fine enough tight end starter and 1.5 tight end premium. Fine. He's fine. But Xavier Legette, Trey Benson, 202, 204, expecting those players to be legitimate starters is probably carrying a little water. So what did I do? What do I always do, right? Start making trades. And specific trades that I was looking for is flexibility. And what is flexible? Picks, right? Players are not flexible, fungible assets. Picks are. So coming out of something like this, I think it's intuitive. Nope, not intuitive. I think what you should be looking to do is obviously split assets if you can into 2 players, 1 player and a pick, 3 picks if you can get the right assets back. And, you don't want to be trading Roma Dunze for 212, 308, and 403 just to get 3 assets, right? The quantity isn't as great as the quality there that you need. So, I had to make some deals, at least I felt I did, to give this team a little bit of flexibility and get off of some of the players that were, at least one of these players I moved that I don't think is that good based off what he did as a rookie. So I moved Xavier Legette and the 304, getting back to 207. Now, again, just adding more picks to the mix. I did not mean to rhyme there. I apologize. Hopefully, I can kick this pick to 2026 so I can keep accruing 2026 assets because that's really what I want to do. But it was important to me, I think, to move up basically a full round, just about a full round. I was willing to give up Xavier Legette to do that. And I did plaster the league, just so it's known. Everyone in the league has at least 3 offers from me at one point or another, or total. So the next player that I was trying to move, and these are all in congruent or all concurrently, whichever, Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze was the next person I wanted to move. So next deal was Roma Dunze, Trey Benson. I got back the 107 and David Njoku. If you've listened to me, you know how I loved Roma Dunze last year coming into the class. A little disappointed in his rookie season, but more importantly, I don't know that Roma Dunze is a 1, and I think the 107 is enough to move him straight up. I didn't love giving Trey Benson in this deal because you really don't want to do 2 for 2s in this situation. But I will say, again, I felt the pulse, the market of the league, felt the pulse of the league by sending out multiple offers. And that's something you should do when you first get into a league, right? Don't be too annoying, and I'll get to that later. But you do want to send out multiple offers just to get a pulse of how people value players and just, see who's going to respond to you. Some people DM you, some people ignore you, but it's good to do that just to get a pulse. I won't say just throw out any canary in the coal mine type of trade where you just go, oh, here's a 3rd and give me a 4th and a 5th just to see if I can get it done. Now, make legitimate trade offers to see, again, how your league feels. So I did give up Trey Benson. I really would have preferred to use him alone, but I got David Njoku. So David Njoku, Trey Benson kind of cancel each other out for me. More importantly, the Roma Dunze for 107 part, getting the 107, giving me the flexibility of what I need, right? This is really the goal after this draft was get flexible, get as many picks as I can, accrue as many picks as I can. The next deal, this is the biggest deal, and I've only made 3 so far. We'll get back to that. So gave up Bijan Robinson. Love you, Bijan. You are a dude that I absolutely think is going to smash this year. But I don't know that you're going to be carrying my team to a victory based on, again, I don't even have 11 legitimate starters, and I don't even have 2 starting quarterbacks. So this just, I don't see it happening. Again, I keep reiterating that because I don't need people jumping in the comments. And again, I'm including Ashton Genty in that number, right? 10 starters, 10 legitimate starters. So anyway, Gave up Bijan. I got a 2025 108. I got the 2025 208, and then a 2026 first round pick. 2 firsts and a second. I obviously would have preferred 3 firsts. I tried for multiple picks. Again, I started it like the 103 because I have the 101. Scott has the 102. I know Scott's not trading the 102 for that. So I started from the 103 down, trying to find offers or sending out offers of that archetype. And again, that's what's important, the archetype. I'm looking to split Bijan Robinson or player X on your roster when you come out of a dispersal into multiple pieces. That's the plan, right? And again, a 26 first, a 108, I believe I said 108. Yes. And the 205, I feel that's fair value considering everything. I'd much rather a higher 2025 first if I could have. I couldn't. Such is life. What are you going to do? So in totality, I made 3 trades. And just, I wanted to see where that led me or left me. But first, I just wanted to go to Dynasty Daddy and see how they felt about the trade. So I just put all the pieces together. And at the end of it, the trade on left side, what I gave up was worth 26,725 pieces, giving up 5 pieces. And on the back end coming back, I got 24,897. Dynasty Daddy considers that fair, as do I. But more important to me than just the pieces, the amount giving up is the type of things I gave up. I gave up Trey Benson, Xavier Legette. Really not concerned about that. More concerned, obviously, about Bijan and Rome Odunze. It sucks giving those dudes up, but you got to get the give, right? And what I came out of it was multiple picks, right? I got 1, 2, 3 more picks, 2 more seconds, and then David Njoku, who hopefully I can trade at some point. That would be great. That would be ideal. That's really what we're looking for. That's where I am, right? I still have things to do. I still have Garrett Wilson, who I am trying to trade. I have a trade offer out there. Hopefully it goes through. I don't know if the person in the league watches this. I don't know if anyone in the league knows that I do content. It's probably poor salesmanship on my part. They should. Anyway, so I still have things that I need to do, right? I still want to split Garrett Wilson into multiple picks. I would love a first and a second, or 2 firsts, really. But I've sent out a bunch of offers for 2 firsts, and basically was told, you cray. It's okay, right? Again, you're just getting a pulse on the league. Don't be afraid to send an offer just because it's going to be rejected. Don't be scared to send an offer just because someone might jump in your DMs and be like, bro, what are you doing? Or ma'am. I don't know why they're calling you ma'am, but either way. Send the offer. You do not know. Don't count someone else's pockets, as the great Ray GQ says. Speaking of Ray GQ, if you have not joined ddfantasy.com, ddfantasyfootball.com, go ahead, jump on the website, use the promo code Shane. You get half off your first month of the all access and Discord tier, or go to the GOAT tier, use GOAT Shane, and get half off of your first month there. Access to the War tool, Trinity tool. More importantly, at least in my eyes, is our Discord community, the Heisman chat, where Scott and Ray often jump on, but you also have me in there. You have a great community of people. You have the Dynasty Theory guys. You have Ty and Gabe. Literally the whole community. Everybody DD's in there, and a ton of great people. Anyway, back to the show. I still have some tasks to do. I'm still looking to move Garrett Wilson, Mark Andrews, and David Njoku. David Njoku, Mark Andrews, literally any second. Now, I said earlier, you don't want to pester people with trades. I took a couple of days off, right? All those trades I made were in the first 3 days being in that league. And I sent out probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, 30-ish offers. So take a step back. Don't be that dude that just keeps plowing dudes with, don't plow dudes in the face, right? With trade offers. Don't keep plowing them in the face. Step back, give them a day or 2, let them recuperate, recover, and then start sending offers again. So that's where I'm at now. I'm sending out Garrett Wilson offers, trying to split him. David Njoku, Mark Andrews, literally any second, preferably 2026, because I'm trying to build some capital in the 2026. Now that I have 2 2026 first, would love to add some seconds to that, because if all my picks happen to hit this year, maybe I'm ready to compete this year, surprisingly. I don't expect it, but look, if the running backs I take at 101, 107, 108, 203, 204, and there's a third rounder out in 207, if those picks happen to hit and I want to compete this year, at least I have 226 first that I can do that with. So that's the importance of splitting assets, right? It's not just about today. It's what can I do with that asset after today? That's what I'm always looking at. What is the next move I can make? And that's how you should be looking at things. So that was just a quick update. Hopefully I gave you some ideas. If you have any ideas on this roster, any thoughts, comments, hell, let me know in the comments. And I appreciate everybody watching. Please please make sure you subscribe. And don't forget, we're going to be blowing it up draft night. All draft nights, not just one. All 3 nights, days of the draft. Make sure you're tuned in. We'll be hitting it here. We'll be hitting it on the big channel with the big dog, Ray GQ. So stay tuned. Appreciate y'all. Bye.